Broadcasting live from the mixed-up world of Hyrule, this is the Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament 2023. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Fantastic, and joining me today on commentary is Tracy M. Tracy M., how you doing?
Doing great. I mean, quarterfinals starting. Let's go.
All right, so we've got Inversion today. The racers are TwoC, I believe, who put in the request for the race. Only said, "Please no McBoss," and so they got that. They got that going for them, and so we got Inversion instead.
Well, ninjembro really likes Inversion, so he's happy.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure about 2C.
Well, there you go. All right, so we should be getting underway pretty soon. The whole Inversion mode, meaning we're going to start in the Dark World.
But hey, we have a sword. We get to start with a sword.
We do have a sword. We
right,
know that all of the bosses will have an item on them, and we have a big key shuffle here.
Yeah, ninjembro starting at Link's house, hoping to get some sort of bomb drop. Did get 20 rupees, which will give him enough money to play the arrow game if he would like. Of course, everything does 2 hearts of damage early. So those pigs will drop a bomb eventually, but that's a lot of kills you need to get before you get to that single bomb. So I don't think he's going to go for it. He's probably going to play the arrow game to get to the dig game. TwoC, you can do a traditional start where you go to Skull Woods and immediately drop down here. There's 2 bombs under the pot, and you can just kill yourself a bunch of times to respawn right in that same spot and get more bombs.
So we did see a map check there from TwoC. We see, I believe, there were pendants at Thieves Town, Palace of Darkness, and Ice Palace.
Yeah, all those early dungeons is sometimes you get you have access to Thieves Town immediately. Of course, Big Key Shuffle means we won't actually necessarily have to beat it this early. But Ice Palace likes to be an early dungeon that will be available if we get a fire source of a fire rod or a bombos and flippers, and pod we can get to with a hammer. So
yeah, and I think
the first shot at the arrow game was not ideal.
I think Swamp had a red crystal is what it had.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna try again with the 28 rupees we got back because we only got a net 8.
Much better. Much better.
All right, now we can afford dig game.
Yeah, though you would want to, if you were going to go again, you probably wanted to leave anyway, just because at that point the timing gets off and you can't actually do it from that one position.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how many times it takes before it gets off sync, but yeah, I totally agree. Want to make sure you're not off sync going back in there. Ninjembro's gonna dig up some money, This you kind of get a little bit of magic here too. TwoC probably going to do the same thing, but he'll be able to hit Hype Cave because he got some bombs. And we get a big key to Eastern. Okay. We'll need that. Yeah, we basically know our pendants and crystals. We're missing whatever the second red crystal is, but since there are 3 pendants in the Dark World, that kind of gives us all the information. Oh, TwoC getting nothing really great in Hype Cave, but we did get 300 rupees, which will let him skip the arrow game to go to the dig game.
Mm-hmm.
And Ninjembro, already having picked up a glove, I believe that was at Stumpy, is going to farm these 50-50 bush skulls, or rocks, or whatever you want to call them. I think most of the ones along the diagonal will 50-50 give you a bomb. 6 is pretty good. Let's see if he... Yeah, looks like he's going to stop at 6.
All right. So we're going to take a peek at Bumper Ledge here, which is a piece of heart.
Yeah, we're not getting that ever.
Nope. Sea House is 10 arrows.
Yeah, I don't think TwoC got anything out of Skull Woods. Did not do the middle chest. So Ninjembro might take a different approach here since he doesn't have to jump down. Yeah, so Ninjembro's gonna go straight for that middle chest. That's another 20 rupees at the chess game. Though TwoC did get the 50 rupees on the random chess, so that's nice.
All right, and we'll go for the front of Thieves Town here. Basically, another overworld check in this mode.
Yeah, especially when it's a pendant. You hope never to have to come back here again.
Getting the small key in the first chest there means you really want to get that hammer. Ooh.
Okay, so guess what just went into logic? We have a sword, boy. We have a lamp, we have a glove.
Yeah?
Already in logic, Aga Tower.
Beautiful.
For those of you that maybe aren't familiar with Inversion or Inverted in general, the Aga Tower location is swapped with the Ganon's Tower location. So to go to, unlike regular modes where you need either 2 swords or a cape to get to the barrier, and then a lamp to put it in logic. In Inverted, you need just the 1 sword, mainly for the back, and a lamp for the logic, and a glove just to be able to get up there. So,
yeah. Now, if you were a complete crazy person, you could go for Moth here.
Not without a fire rod.
I mean, you can absolutely bomb jump that hole.
You absolutely can, but how are you getting back there without the fire rod to kill the skull thingy?
Oh yeah. Why am I an idiot?
You're thinking of
keep thinking entrance.
You're thinking cross entrance. Yeah, that's exactly.
I'm an idiot. Hi. I've been doing too much cross keys, which I think is.
I mean, that's its own problem, to be honest.
Hello.
Okay, so TwoC is going to get the dig game here, and we'll probably get the glove on Stumpy afterwards. But is going to need to get that lamp to logically proceed up the mountain. Might just do it anyway. Might just wait on that lamp. But we'll make it longer for him to get to Aga. Now, I don't know if I would... we're going to run out of things to do relatively quickly. 3-heart, green mail, fighter sword only, literally no safety. Aga Tower sounds horrible.
It kind of does.
We might not have other options.
I mean, that would be a real display of skill there for runners to pull that off.
We do have a bombos that I didn't see where TwoC got, but in Jumper will
it's here in
Thieves Town. Okay, which you get 8 bombos casts for various rooms you could use. It's not the worst thing, but yeah.
yeah, you could bombos your way up the tower.
There's that glove for TwoC. I mean, bombos is slow, but fighter sword is also slow, so kind of pick your poison. Bombos probably a little safer.
Yeah, TwoC got a couple of got a heart out of Hype Cave, got a couple other things.
Yeah, ninjembro's definitely going to hit that Hype Cave, and we'll have some hearts when he goes up there, but 5 hearts is a little better. It's a little safer. I'm not sure it's actually better. So we're not going to make it faster.
A nice sign to get rid of that murder dactyl.
Yeah, I like to use that sign on that specific murder dactyl. If you set it up properly, it shouldn't ever get you. Yeah, TwoC is just going to go up the mountain out of logic. Doesn't know there's a lamp sitting in the middle of Skullwoods for him. Yeah. So my guess is
I definitely wouldn't want to try to do lampless Aga. That sounds bad.
No. There's very few situations where I think it's reasonable to do completely fireless Aga. One of them would be a fire rod on the lumberjack ledge. But mostly it's just a bad idea. It's slow, it's difficult. The first difficult dark room that has torches that you now can't lit because you don't have a fire rod is bad enough. Oh gosh, did we not see that? I did not see the TwoC got that big key to Thieves Town, so there could be progression in the back of Thieves Town. And Ninjembro's gonna go for it.
That is obnoxious.
That is really obnoxious. So this is really interesting because it's a pendant, so we may never actually need to do this Thieves Town. So Ninjembro's gonna lose some time. On the other hand, TwoC is gonna lose time because he hasn't gotten that lamp yet, so he's gonna go ahead and I don't know what that bunny sprite is, but it is kind of funny.
I think it's
like
a Terranigma thing. So
Oh.
like the main sprite is Arc from Terranigma, and this is Yomi, I think, is the name of the
Gotcha.
dragon or like demon character that comes out of a box.
Yeah, so the problem with what 2C is doing, because he did this out of logic, he's almost certainly going to have to climb up the mountain a second time because he didn't get that lamp. And I don't imagine he's going to bet on Agatower without the items to put it in logic.
Right,
yeah, question
blue
in chat,
mail.
did 2C get the big key? I imagine he has. It wouldn't surprise me if he does that before getting his lamp. A little unfortunate that ninjembro didn't get his Hype Cave goodies before doing this, just to have those extra couple hearts. Like, he's gonna be 2 hits on the blind fight. Not ideal. Alright, looks like we're gonna sequence break over to the east side of the Dark World. Also, that was a map. Have we seen the compass yet? Because I think we're gonna be leaving an item behind in the big chest. Which feels worse when it's a pendant.
I don't think the compass has happened yet, but then again, I don't remember one of the chests, so I have no idea.
If anyone can confirm or deny that compass. Of course, it could just show up in the 2 checks we do have. Okay. Compass was in the front. We've seen the map, so we are leaving an item behind in the big chest.
That was the chest I didn't remember, so. You will confirm and deny.
Yeah, well, we could do that. That works. Oh my god. That is a moon pearl deep in Thieves Town.
Gross.
That is absolutely disgusting. So now I'm going to say definite advantage to ninjembro. 2C is going to do these out of logic checks.
Shoutouts to Vanilla Quake.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Good, nice Vanilla Quake that we may or may not need. 2C probably figuring he's missing something that puts this in logic. In either Thieves Town or in Skull Woods. So figures, yeah, I'm probably if I'm just missing the flippers or the hammer, I mean, obviously I'm going to want to get those, but I can do this first and then go back. Maybe you have better weapons. In the meantime, ninjembro already in phase 3 of line, very nicely done. Only took 1 hard damage. Hit. Yeah, that was very nicely done. Has the green pendant. Does have an item outstanding in there, but I don't see any way you don't leave that big chest behind because of the Moon Pearl location.
Oh yeah, you're going to have to just deal with that, unfortunately.
Yep. So my guess is he does Hype Cave and then does. Wow.
That's the other
nice
glove on the pyramid.
Hits.
What up?
Okay, so Aga breakable, but it's inverted. So if you end up doing the Agatower climb anyway, it's not necessarily the end of the world because. Like the you get some of that time back a lot more so than in other modes because having that light world start point and that extra portal. Also, yeah, chat pointing out mitts and inverted is meh. I mean, mitts can be required. The only location that is hard logically required for it is, of course, King's Tomb, which we can now sequence break with a hook shot. But if the mirror is late, those mitts could be significant because there are things that are locked behind mitts or mirror. And we're going to get a pod play. Yeah, so, I mean, this is a completely different routes here for our runners. Ninjembro probably going to do the mountain. Doesn't do nearly as good a job with that sign. Ninjembro probably going to do the mountain, probably going to do Super Bunny, and probably going to do Agatower because he knows it's in logic. 2C needs to get back to Skullwoods for the lamp to know that the Agatower's in logic. Won't ever do it, likely, because he does have those mitts to get around it. In fact, could actually... No, he could still miss the lamp. Can't miss that Moon Pearl, because, well, we do hard require that. And it's going to clear out a very slow pod, at least as much as he can. I don't know if he mimic clips or not. We don't have a bottle to do it the easy way. So question, do you go back to Skull Woods for an item, or do you go back to Thieves Town first? I mean, the big key is kind of pointing you to Thieves Town, but Skull Woods is easier.
Yeah, I mean, like, for all you know, the other items in Skull Woods are in the back, so
Yep. And we get a
feels
cape.
like Thieves Town is more guaranteed checks.
Mm-hmm. Now, cape doesn't do anything for us, since Bumper Ledge is just a piece of heart, and cape is irrelevant for Aga in Inverted.
Apparently, we had another Light World map check here, and we see that Eastern Palace is the other 5/6 crystal, so
Nice.
which we did get that big key for earlier from the digging game, so we got that going for us.
And of course, this being Pendant Pod, 2C might never... Ninjembro might never get here.
Speaking
Also,
of 2C, going for a mimic clip here.
I mean, I know I mean, these players are really good and they're skipping that blue mail, but gosh, Aga Tower with blue mail would
Oh yeah,
make it so much better.
I'm a little bit appalled at the disrespect for the blue mail, just saying.
I mean, I know it's a slow location, and I get these players who don't need it, but honestly, it might, in Ninjembro's case, since he is going to be doing Aga Tower most likely,
Mm-hmm.
I think the potential time save of being able to take extra hits with the blue mail might be worth on the Aga Tower play. But, you know, we're going to skip it.
We got a Kana Samaria on the right side of pod there.
Okay, so Ninjembro is going to have to get there. See, he took the hit from he was trying for iframes from the bomb. They didn't last long enough, right, I suppose. And just took the hits from the Lionels there.
Yeah, Pendant Dungeon's just kind of showing up today.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, and chat making a good point, Humbug in chat saying that a lot of the guards just do a half a hard damage regardless. So, you know, there's a certain... so maybe it doesn't help quite as much as it could, but... It might have helped in those Lionels. I typically, when I do this play to go across this bridge, is I'll take a fireball hit from the Lionel and then use those iframes. But the bombs, I think, bomb will do a harder damage here, so it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, the fireball does 2, I believe. But it's less than taking a Lionel to the face, which is 4.
Exactly.
I also found out if you have too many Lionels on the screen at the same time, they stop taking damage.
Also, we can open up Turtle Rock right now. We can't do anything.
Gross.
Well, Ninjembro can't do anything.
Oh, there's a mirror in pod too.
Pod coming up big. Holy.
That's not in the dark maze. That is in the U-shaped rupee room. But
okay, so yeah, I don't know when Ninjembro is getting to pod at this point. So 2C finding some really nice items over there in pod is going to be good for him. Getting to pod for Ninjembro is going to be more difficult. Going to need a flippers or a hammer to kind of point him in that direction, because he won't be able to mirror from the light world, which is what he'd prefer. You get to Eastern and you mirror from there. But I wouldn't put anybody ahead yet. Like 2C still needs to get the Moon Pearl, and you know, Ninjembro at some point pod will look good. Might be a while, we'll see.
All right, and Ninjembro is going to go ahead and climb the tower.
Yep. We're going to make use of that bombos.
He might be doing the same.
No, he doesn't have the lamp yet. There's no way you climb. I mean, you've got mitts.
Yeah,
He's probably
right.
never climbing the tower.
He'll go to some other... He'll go to Super Bunny and things like that. He might even go into Turtle Rock for all we know.
He could go to Turtle Rock. In fact, that cane kind of pointing him in that direction.
And using the cape.
Yeah, the cape for the Lionels is better.
Yeah, sure. You're much less likely to get hit when you literally have no hitbox.
Yep.
All right, TwoC opening up the Thieves Town, Turtle Rock. There's not going to be a ton of things in the first few chests here.
Well, the main thing is there's no guarantee that we're going to see a small key. Now he's got the mirror and the bits, so he can actually get to some of the backdoor mirror spots as well. Like, there's a lot of things he can do in Thieves Town here. Or sorry, in Turtle Rock. Dungeons, you know? They start with T. We did. They both start with T. I'll use that as an excuse.
Yep. And there's a small key, so...
I think you still... Yeah, I was going to say, I think you still do this from the back, and he is going to go ahead and do this from the back door. But it is a little bit slower, considering we have to do a whole lot of bunny walking to do it from the back door. He hasn't done Super Bunny yet. Okay.
Yeah. I believe we got the Meyer big key in here from when ninjembro came in here. Yeah.
All right, ninjembro gonna get to Aga. I made good use of that Bombos medallion.
Oh yeah. When you're on green mail fighter sword, like, it's probably faster to use Bombos in a lot of situations.
In some of those rooms, for sure.
Maybe not in all of them, but in like the first one with ball and chain guards, almost certainly.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of the other rooms, pretty solid too. There's a reason ninjembro is standing directly to the left or right of Aga here. Because the blue balls... well, never mind.
He wasn't direct. Yeah, the idea is you want to stand directly to the left or right, because the blue balls won't go directly left or right. And he stood there in a diagonal spot, and of course he got hit, because he was in the diagonal.
Speaking of blue balls, he's on 3 so far.
I'm glad someone's counting, because
4. 5. 6.
And of course, laser skips not free. We do have. He does have a cape though, so he can just do it with the cape.
Seven.
Yeah, a little unfortunate because TwoC is not going to necessarily need to do
8.
this.
9. Good. So he has not missed a single blue ball. Like, this is 9.
This is unfortunate, 9. Yeah, because yeah, TwoC with having sequence broken those mitts, probably not going to be doing this play at all, and will not have to. Usually, ninjembro's probably thinking, well, yeah, this is a really awful Aga, but my opponent's got to do it anyway because clearly this is an Aga seed.
Dodge the 15 there.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get the full 15 there.
I know, right?
But no, we got 9 blue balls all in a row.
We're probably going to start with Castle. We'll start with Uncle, looks like.
Or Tree. Yeah, okay.
So far, TwoC really hasn't found anything out of this Turtle Rock, but we're going to get a couple more chests, I think.
So the mirror and the Cane of Samaria were both in pod. The cane was bow locked, technically, and the mirror was lamp locked, but TwoC didn't care.
I mean, it's kind of it's good news, bad news for TwoC. The good news is he got some really nice items out of sequence breaking. The bad news is it's just taking him further and further away from the Moon Pearl, which is sitting in back of Thieves Town.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there was a Master Sword in there as well.
Yep, but Pendant Pod with 3 good items and 2 required items. But instead of, but it just keeping, 2C now doing all this Thieves Town, all this Turtle Rock stuff. One of these days I'll get my T dungeon straight. Yes,
I think in honor of this,
should know that he missed something.
I think in honor of this, I'm just going to start putting T's at the front of every dungeon.
There you go.
We'll have Tyrol Castle, Cheestern Palace, Anyway, I'm done.
Okay, so Turtle Rock, really nothing there.
So Ninjembro did find the powder right here in Tyrol Castle, which is one of my favorite things, but I mean, it's not the most important thing.
And it looks like there's more stuff on the mountain for 2C to do, because he's still here.
Oh my god.
Okay.
2C is going for Lampless Aga Tower.
Okay, so here's what I think 2C is thinking. I've missed the lamp somewhere. And I need to do Aga Tower with that, just pretend the lamp doesn't exist, do this Aga Tower, and look for the Moon Pearl in the Light World. Because with the mirror especially, that can happen. And Ninjembro taking the Death Warp out of the basement. Probably going to do Dark Cross here. Maybe not going to do Dark Cross. Maybe, I don't know if he's already gotten the map or not.
Oh, okay. That was Bombos doing things. I was like, that was a awfully long time for that death sprite to stay on the screen.
Yeah, and to answer chat, yes, there is a Thieves Town small key available in the front of the dungeon.
Yes. So yeah, we don't know what's in the big chest because nobody has the hammer, but there could very well be something in there as well.
Okay, so this might be what you often do in Inverted is you'll jump down for the back of escape and walk out the front. Mm-hmm. And I think Ninjembro is going to plan on saving and quitting out of the back after he does this other check.
That seems like the plan. Alright, so Graveyard Ledge, just some bombs. Yeah, everything in pod was completely out of logic.
Yeah, because we don't have we still don't have logical access to it. We need a hammer or flippers to have logical access to it because we're not going to get a mirror. A shovel, the map, piece of heart. Now Ninjembro is going to go do Dark Cross because he knows it's not the map or the small key.
The mirror is not bow locked. It was the Cane of Samaria that's bow locked.
Yes. And the good news for Ninjembro is now 2C is going to have that awful Aga fight. And we'll not be losing that time anymore. Oh, Fire Rod in Dark Cross. That's nice. Hey, now we can go do Skull if we want to.
Is that Rule of Fire again?
I don't think of it as Rule of Fire quite as much because it's the lamp putting the Fire Rod as opposed to the other way around. But sure, yeah. Is walking out of here. That surprises me. There's no reason to do... Oh, there is a reason to do this first. He wanted the small key. He wanted to guarantee he had the small key. And as it turns out, this was where the small key was. So he would have had to do the fire rod from the front. So, so it actually worked out for him the way he did it. If he had done the small key after, or had done the sank check after clearing out the back of escape, he wouldn't have been able to get that fire rod. And he basically would have orphaned the location.
Alright, so Ninjembro's now heading up to go check the lumberjack cave.
Yeah, let's see if there's any other reasons why we might have had to do Aga. Not likely, but it's worth checking.
Nope.
Like a 20.
And we go to the woods and the village, I imagine.
Seems right to me. Yeah, we're gonna see both runners in the woods relatively soon at the same time. Only one's gonna be a bunny sprite and the other one's not. There's only a handful of things you can really do. You can, in logic at this point, for TwoC, of course nothing's, the way he's routed this, like, everything's out of logic for him, but he can do, there's a bunch of mirror stuff you can do. You can do smiths, you can do turn the purple chest, you can talk to the bottle vendor. The bottle vendor will give him a super bunny state long enough for him to do one other check. A lot of times you'll see runners do the back of tavern with that, but you could also use it to pick up the bushes in the Lost Woods to drop down into the Blind's hideout.
Alright, TwoC finishing off Agahnim and heading to the light world. There's Yomi doing the Yomi thing.
Yep, and he can do the front of the castle with bunny revive tactics. A lot of runners will do that.
There's the flippers, which put that whole pod thing into
there you go.
Possibility.
And a bottle in Kakariko is nice.
Yeah, that was the correct time to find that.
Oh yeah. Yep, we are going to do a bunny revive, which if TwoC follows completely through on this, we'll get a fire rod out of it, so that's good for him.
Yeah, that'll at least, at the very least, TwoC will want to be a little more likely to go back to Skull Woods, at least, to get the lamp.
At this point, with that fire rod, he really doesn't need the lamp. He's already done Aga Tower without it, so...
Right.
It will just tell him what the logic is, you know?
Or I'm just thinking about, like, in terms of getting him closer to the Moon Pearl, right? Because the Skullwood is a little bit closer to the Moon Pearl than some of these other places he's in.
And yes, chat, Ice Palace is in logic now. Obviously, we can't complete it because we don't have a hammer. We do have the flippers to get in, and actually the bombos was... Yeah, we just need the flippers. We didn't even need the fire rod for it.
Mm-hmm. There's our single arrow.
Everybody's favorite.
In the chicken hut.
Now, Ninjembro, I could see him following those flippers to either one of those locations if we don't get anything else good here. Right now, there really isn't a... Unless the bow shows up, there just isn't a crystal dungeon that we can do. Other than, I mean, Skull Woods, we can do Skull Woods. But he's already gotten items out of Skull Woods.
Alright, so aside from the flippers, that's basically all that we found here. We did find a shovel as well, so we'll...
Ninjembro will be able to rot that shovel in as he goes and does more of this light world stuff. There's a big key behind the boots, which, you know, if it's a required big key, means we will get boots, so yay. Of course, it could just be like the Skullwoods big key, which we don't necessarily need, which is less good.
Alright, so we got red rupees at the race game, so no racing today. I always love it when the boots are on the race game.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. I always love the different reactions from runners when they see something good on the race game, especially if they've got the flute. So you'll see runners will have the flute all ready, and they'll play the flute while they're looking at the item, and then they have to dodge the bird because oh no, I have to go get this item. Looks like that was Sankart that Ninjembro just dug up.
I believe so.
Oh, and hey, if we ever need money, the bush crab is dropping red 20s, so.
All right.
Okay, yeah, Master Sword for Ninjembro, that's good. Okay, looks like we're gonna head over to
that count as the
Woods.
sword in swamp?
I mean, there's a third sword out there. There could still be a sword in swamp.
I mean, I think there's a fourth sword out there even.
Yeah, we've got no. There's only 3 places.
You'll only ever find 3 of them, right?
No. There's no fourth sword place. I have actually legit tested that on other modes where they start you with a sword. There's no fourth sword placed.
Okay.
It's just the one you start with, and then 3 others. They don't even replace with a green 20, which is fine because that just confuses people, I think.
All right, so 2C did go ahead and head back to Skull Woods. Got that lamp.
He's gonna get
so now he
himself
probably
a
feels entirely justified in doing that Aga trip.
Well, I mean, this Skullwoods is also not in Logic. That Fire Rod is not in Logic without the Moon Pearl. So he's not getting a Moon Pearl on Moth, but he might get something good. I mean, it is going to be an item. Ninjembro okay, a hammer. I mean, Ninjembro is... I mean, I'm less worried about that hammer. Actually, I'm not worried about that hammer at all for Ninjembro. He's going to be getting into Skullwoods at some point. I'm much more worried about when he gets to Pod.
Mm-hmm. I'd actually prefer that he gets to Pod with the hammer, honestly, you know?
I don't think it matters because it's a pendant. You don't necessarily need to beat it. It'd be nice if it, like, I think they would send him that way potentially instead of Ice Palace, which is, you know, at some point going to be his choices. It looks like a bow would send you to Pod, and without the bow, you might go to Ice.
Yeah.
Both are pendants. Both are awful pendants.
I do think that 2C is now more likely to go into the back of Thieves Town with that hammer, which would be very good for 2C at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there is an item in the big chest. You'd be able to get it.
And more importantly, the silly Moon Pearl's in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, he will get to the back of Thieves Town. Just the question is, does he do the mirror checks first? And there's like 3 checks he can do that are all really slow. But definitely could have his Moon Pearl now that he has the lamp.
I mean, 2C was not at all close to dying there. I don't know what you're talking about. Literally sitting on half a heart. Yikes.
Meanwhile, Ninjembro is going to do the rest of these flippers checks. Gonna have to grab that mushroom. Mushroom is an awful item in Inverted because it's terrible to turn it in. Terrible to get there to turn it in. And we have our ether medallion.
Medallions for days, apparently.
I mean, the Quake medallion could be relevant if we need it for Misery Mire, since I don't know when Ninjembro gets to Catfish, not having the mirror to do it right now.
So the reason people are making comments about Blue Mail here is because we saw it earlier, and both runners skipped it. And again, it's not like they've had close calls of death or anything.
The blue mail is not half damage against everything. The damage tables in Link to the Past are weird for reasons. And there are some things that for some things it goes half. For some things it just does one less heart each time for each mail upgrade, and for some things it just doesn't make a difference.
For some things it goes like 3/4 and 1/2.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see where Ninjembro's. Oh, clearly Ninjembro's going to get that hammer, because I think this is going to be the Skullwoods play.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Which, for him, that might make Ice feel more like a better play than going to Pod.
Probably right.
Because now he can just full clear Ice. TwoC making nice use of the powder. So. Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't. Which bad pendant do you want to do? Well, the game is giving you all the things for Ice Palace, so let's do that one. But maybe Ice has a bow, which would get him back to Pod. I don't know.
Yeah.
This being the only crystal dungeon that we can actually do right now. And if we do find something in the Thieves Town big chest, then Ninjembro's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to do the boss first.
Does mean that Ninjembro is going to be without that damage boost from the hammer, but...
Hammer hitbox is terrible on Moth anyway.
Correct.
I personally am a big fan of using the Fire Rod, but we don't have it. Well, we do have... Ninjembro should have a green if he wants to use it, if he wants to do more Fire Rod shots. There's a moon throw for TwoC. Yep.
Good lord.
Ninjembro has to remember to go back in for this chest. This is a chest that I have many times forgotten. Most of the time it doesn't matter, but this time it absolutely will. And is the big chest anything? It is not. So Ninjembro's never going to have to worry about that big chest. That is actually quite significant. It would have been very significant if there had been an item there.
Ninjembro is in fact going to go back for the remaining chest here.
Yep, and then he's going to probably just save and quit out of here, and
I imagine so.
Outer Ice is next for him. Yeah, the start at Link's house makes sense. Or he could turn in the green pendant and or go to Eastern, because it looks like he's heading back into the light world. It's a little unfortunate because can't mirror into Pod. But we are running out of places where things can be.
Yeah, going over to the Eastern Palace area is a pretty reasonable play here.
Or could we go into the desert area?
Yeah?
I'm not a huge fan of this without a mirror or a book to go into desert.
Oh, wait.
Oh, he's turning in the mushroom.
Turning the mushroom.
Turning in the mushroom first makes a lot of sense. And then he can save and quit out of that and just go straight over to Eastern and/or, well, not Pod, because it'll be Light World, but...
Yeah, the Eastern Palace big key was at the digging game. So it was quite early.
And with the hammer and the glove, he can go into the dark world and hit Pod if he wants to. And TwoC is going to do his Kakariko cleanup. And good for him that he did not start following that mirror. Even with the mirror, the Smith turn in, the purple chest, very slow. Would have been in logic for him once he had that lamp too. Of course, the other thing that might put Ninjembro into Pod is no Cane of Samaria. right? Because Ice Palace without the Cane of Samaria, it makes a big difference. We also don't have a hook shot. Hookless, caneless, Ice Palace is just an awful place to be.
Oh,
Ice Rod?
hello.
Okay, so Green Pendant was relevant for that too. Nice game. So you need to go get your Moon Pearl, and then don't leave, because that Green Pendant is your Ice Rod.
It's just a mess.
Of course, we were saying that we don't have a clearable crystal, but we have the Meyer Big Key, and TwoC can get there. We don't know what the medallion is, but all three are available medallions.
Yeah, there is one problem with getting into Meyer.
We don't have Lookshire boots.
Yep.
Be a little bit more reasonable for TwoC to check that out, though. So ninjembro is going to get 3 items out of Eastern. We'll see if, well, he might not. Yeah, no, he's got the big key, so he can get all 3 items out of the front of Eastern.
Right. I was like, wait, it's big key shuffle. There's 4 items, but no, one's on the boss, you dumb.
Yep. Yeah, that's how I tend to think of in Brosia in particular, is I just think of, I just kind of ignore the item on the boss as just its own thing. And then all the other numbers just work out the same.
And if you were worried, I was the dumb I was referring to in that sentence was myself. I am the dumb.
I mean, we've definitely had our share of dumb comments already today, so hopefully nobody's counting. And we are going to get Smith turn in, because, I mean, it makes sense for TwoC to do this now. It's not going to get any faster later, and he's got the mirror to do it. It's all in logic now, because he's got the hammer, he's got the flippers. So all the pod stuff is now in logic for him. Big key to desert. Okay.
Now we hard require a book to get into desert
Yes.
in this mode. So we're not doing the desert yet.
So far, Eastern not paying out. We're going to get the powder check here from TwoC. We haven't seen that on ninjembro's side. No, because he didn't have the hammer to do it before. And nothing going there. And we're going to grab the purple chest. And we're going to do hammer pegs the slow way, because the game hasn't given us boots yet.
Alright, come on, bow and big key chest.
Just bombs. We're going to save and quit out of Eastern. And ninjembro is back to that. I think he's got pod and ice left. Yeah, let's see which decision he makes. The fact that he grabbed those hearts makes me think he's going to ice. But ice could be the answer. It's in the sense of a bow that would make... I mean, because that cane was on the bow side, right? Like, that's still not in logic.
It was, yeah.
Whereas everything else was. Yeah, we're gonna do Ice Palace first. He's got a green potion. We'll see if he decides to, if we get the thing that the game wants us to have. And of course, it could be, the purple chest still outstanding. That could be a thing. And there's, things we can do over in the desert area. More things that TwoC can do over in the desert area.
Yeah, the purple chest usually is outstanding. It's just standing there.
Yeah, and of course, this is one of my least favorite things to do. Caneless, hookless Ice Palace is just the worst. Caneless is bad. Hookless makes it worse. That small key is really nice, as it turns out, because now when he goes up the right side, he doesn't have to do any bomb jump shenanigans.
Did you hear about the scarecrow that got the award for being outstanding in his field?
I did not. Tell me about him.
That's the whole joke.
Oh.
Because he's outstanding.
Yeah,
I'm done.
In the field. I'm getting mixed reaction to that one on in chat.
Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. They don't tell you this, but in very fine print at the bottom of the PhD, it says that you earn the right to tell dad jokes even if you're not a dad.
I see. I guess mine didn't have that fine print. Okay. Checkerboard with nothing. We'll spy what's on the ledge here, but we can't get it, and then 2C will mirror, find out what the mire requirement is, and check mire shed. And it is Quake. So that's really bad for Ninjembro because it means he has to get back to Catfish.
Yeah, gross. Oh, hello.
Baby. Okay, so the Ice Palace play, maybe not giving you everything you want, but it did give us a very nice thing.
Yeah,
so boots in ice. Okay, so boots may or may not be required. They typically aren't required in
this rate,
inverted.
There might be necessary just to get into Misery Mire.
I mean,
you could have the hook shot in there.
Those boots. There's that sword for 2C. Ninjembro, if he gets to Catfish, will be able to have that Quake, and we'll be able to full clear Misery Mire at some point with those boots. It does need to get to Pod. It'd be better for him to do Catfish first, just because Catfish, the Quake, doesn't open anything for him immediately. Whereas the Cane will give him all sorts of Turtle Rock stuff to do that he doesn't need to do because there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And the
also remembering
and mirror.
Chad is reminding us there was in fact a big key on the library.
There is a big key on the library. That is correct. Now it could be the Swamp big key, which we don't care about.
Skull Woods.
Skull Woods big key we definitely don't care about because we know that's not an item there. But I think Ninjembro is going to go ahead and finish this dungeon at this point.
I mean, at this point,
we've seen 3 items.
You're priced into doing it.
Yeah. You've already got 1 pendant. For Ninjembro, those boots only open up 1 location, so it's not going to really take him away from the locations he needs to get to. Just a question of what order does he do them in. And I would bet on that he does Pod first. I worry about that Quake location for him. He basically last located his hook shot at Catfish in the last race.
Ooh, that's a big oof.
I mean, Catfish is a very popular last location, if you want to think of it that way. So the only thing in here were the boots and the pendant.
So, I mean, at least Ninjembro, if they go to Pod, they're not going to be tempted by trying to go for the pedestal, because you just can't beat the dungeon.
Right, no big key, no bow. But this has got to be, at this point, you got to either do Catfish or Pod. We're going to head back up this way, which means we're going back into the light world. What else do we have in the light world that he's not done? Oh, he's going to... Okay, this is his quickest way to the boots checks, which he can only do 1 of.
Yeah, and I don't think he did the magic bat either, so he could do that while he's over here.
Yeah, it's not too far away. It's not great, though. Nothing there, and could get that big key as well. So bat into library to get the big key. Hey, TwoC, now you're going to pick up that 500 rupee piece of heart. And we'll find out what this big key is in a second. Find out where those boots are required, or hard required. There's a good chance that the small key in Desert could be sitting on the torch. But typically in Inversion, because of the big key shuffle, the boots won't be hard required in Desert.
All right, the big key in the library is Skullwoods.
Womp womp. That is not the big key you want to find.
Rip.
You know there's nothing there. Okay, this could be catfish.
Yeah, this could be a catfish play. I mean,
I can't think anywhere else you're going to go from that location. And that's going to give him a Quake medallion, which he really does need, and he doesn't know it at the moment. But that's going to... I think that's just going to leave pod, and he's just going to be forced to do the pod things. He should still have a green potion. I don't think he likes to Mimiclip, but I know he does have the potion to do it with the bottle.
Yeah, so that won't be a problem.
And it'll give him all 3 medallions. If he does this in that order, he'll have all 3 medallions, plus the mirror, plus the cane.
Yeah,
the Misery Mire looks really good at that point.
Very good at that point, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you want that.
Quack.
And another one of those locations is kind of funny because the runners, you know, they're trying to avoid picking the extra time loss for picking up something unnecessary, just like the race game situation. And then they see that it's something they need. He's like, oh yeah, you kind of quick turn around, go make sure you grab it.
Yeah, people are discussing in chat the Turtle Rock big key. Yeah, there is a big key door on Trinex's room.
Yes, we need that. We do need that.
You can't be without the big key.
Yeah, let's talk about what are we missing at this point. We were missing a bow. We were missing the hook shot. We don't need flute. We do need that Turtle Rock big key. Let's see, are there other big keys we're missing? Not really, because you don't need a swamp big key ever. You don't need, unless there's something in the chest. It's another fetch quest key. We can skip the Hera big key if... we can skip the Hera big key if the... Where are we going? I'm very...
Maybe he's going to Turtle Rock.
Oh, it could be the bonk chest. He can't do anything in Turtle Rock, not without mirror or cane.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so hookshot or big key or Hera big key.
Yeah.
Plus. Oh, we're gonna do the mountain check. We haven't done any mountain checks yet.
Oh yeah, we haven't. Yeah, that's true. No paradox.
And that's
game.
You know, that's gonna look better than doing pendant pod at this point. It'd be pretty big if there were a bow here. But not in Hookshot Cave, and we know ninjembro cannot hover. There's a hover in his last seed in the last round would have changed the tenor of that game completely.
What about the soprano of that game?
Yeah, the bow would be big because it would give ninjembro a reason to go back to pod, because that's the thing that opens for him. He's already full cleared Eastern. Of course, he has to do Eastern, so.
I got some Mimic Cave action, which I'm pretty sure 2C didn't have the hammer when he came over here, so.
No, he did not. We did not see Mimic Cave.
Garbage.
Yep. So we'll go up Paradox Cave, and then we'll go down Spiral Cave, and then, unless ninjembro gets something else nice, we'll again have that pod play left. So, chat thinking he's avoiding pod because of, you know, you can't complete it. I mean, it's a pendant dungeon, so I don't think that has anything to do with it. Why do ice over pod? Well, they're both awful dungeons, but the game kind of gave you the things to do ice. Didn't give you all the things to do pod. We can also dip into Hera, but we can't finish the dungeon.
Well, we're bottled up now.
A flute!
Yep, flute is good.
Flute is... Ooh,
and a hook shot.
A hook shot. Let's go. Okay, so... What is that? That hook shot gets him... No, he still can't... No, it gets him Mire. He has... No, but he doesn't have the cane, so he can go into Mire. But he can... Okay, now we can just go beat Hera. And 2C... Heading over to Ice Palace is going to get those boots, so the boots advantage for ninjembro is not going to last much longer. And of course, 2C will do this a lot faster because he's got Canis and Mario.
I grab the blue cane here on Spectacle Rock, because why the heck not?
Yeah, I mean, he might want to do Spike Cave at some point.
And we enter Tower of Hera.
Also,
Nothing
2C with a
in
tempered
person.
sword. Also going to make this dungeon better for him.
Oh, yeah.
There's that
a
bow.
bow.
Okay, so now ninjembro has reason to go and do pod if he wants to. Could definitely
this is
see him
the other
doing...
thing that Hookshot gives him.
Yeah, we can just do the dungeon now. I think we already saw 2 items, too. So
No, we saw a compass.
Oh, we saw a compass? Okay, so he's dropping down. He's hoping that the other item is just here. And it is!
There you go.
Okay, very nice. Very, very nice, Hera. We don't care about the big key to Hera now. Okay, boots incoming for 2C.
All right. It's dash time for both of our runners now.
Ninjembro will get this dungeon done. We'll head over to Spiral Cave, most likely. Could choose to do Spike Cave instead.
Yeah, but I mean, you can basically save and quit to do Spike Cave anytime you want. Right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I always think Spiral is more out of the way. So when given a choice, I'm going to do Spiral every time. Doesn't mean it's the right answer, though. And of course, they could both be nothing. Yeah, okay, so chat saying book and TR big key for no mode. I believe that is correct. Now, we know where the mirror is. So the mirror is I mean, go mode. Both runners need things for go mode. We're gonna get a save and quit. This could be finish up Eastern and then go to... Okay, we're gonna go to the Dark Chapel. Right, because I keep forgetting that we don't have... that ninjembro doesn't have the mirror and is not getting the light world. Where are we going? Oh, I hope this isn't Smith... Oh, gonna activate the flute, maybe? We're gonna do hammer pegs at the very least. I hope we don't do mirrorless miss, because mirrorless miss is really, really slow.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Alright, TwoC gonna take out Cold Stare real quick. Nice bombos to get rid of the shell, and then just holding Cold Stare in the corner for quite a bit of time there, just to inflict as much damage as possible.
Yep. We are going to at least grab the Smith.
Woof.
And we can't save and quit with the Smith and Inverted. He will disappear, because there are ways to soft lock with the Smith. If you try and, if you keep him in the light world and you don't have an entrance to go in, can't go into entrances, it can do bad things, so. We have to drag him, pick up the rock, but this will get ninjembro the flute activation.
Yep. And we will at least be able to do some fluting. Now that, having the flute actually is how ninjembro could get over to Meyer. Unfortunately, no cane, so you wouldn't be able to beat it.
Yeah. I'm hoping he finds the bow more compelling to follow, because if you're going into Meyer, you're betting on cane in Meyer, and we know it's not there. And TwoC gonna check the thing that those mitts get him.
All right, King's Tune,
Just
just
a piece of heart. And he's not done yet, so this could be purple chest. Meanwhile, TwoC is going to do bonk rocks. Basically, oh, where is he headed? Yeah, he has to go in the dark world first, of course. Maybe just running to Eastern, because we're not grabbing that purple chest right now. Oh, we have King's Tomb for ninjembro. He wasn't able to do it before, because he had the boots before he had the mitts.
Right.
Okay, save and quit for ninjembro. TwoC is going to get the sad little Skullwoods key. And now we can just start anywhere and flute. And we are fluting to 6, which is not good for ninjembro. Needs to go to pod. Sees that quake did matter. It's funny. I'd want it. I said, well, if he gets the cane before the cane in the mirror before he gets quake, that could be a problem, because when does he go back to catfish? But instead, that quake, that fact that he has all the medallions, is sending him into misery mire. Ah, okay.
Oh,
yeah, he's gonna flute away. Oh. And
okay.
Flute back to 6. This is oh, because he wants to be in the light world? Okay.
I guess he's gonna do the ledge here in Agahnim's cave. And checkerboard.
Yeah, he hasn't done these yet. We've seen them on TwoC's side, so we know there's nothing there. TwoC is going to head into a misery mire that he can just complete right now. Also, no, TwoC hasn't turned in his green pendant for his ice rod yet. Hasn't been anywhere near that area since the early play of going into pod out of logic.
The bow was in Tower of Hera in the map chest in the back there. So,
okay, save and quit for ninjembro. Where are we headed now?
Hookshot Cave,
Hookshot Cave. Yep, this is Hookshot Cave. Like, ninjembro just doesn't want to go to pod. Like, he's been getting things to keep him away from there. Maybe a pod big key would get him over there, because he can pull Ped, and Ped could have something. But either the TR big key that we're missing or the book could easily be on Ped.
If the book was on the pedestal, that would make the second seed that I've commentated where the book was on the pedestal this tournament.
Oh wow, I've seen it happen once. It was not this tournament for me. Okay, there's 5. We are going into Eastern first.
I mean, it does make sense. It's a crystal dungeon. You got to beat it. But at the
Yep.
same time, you can't just mirror back. So
Right.
you're going to have to flip to 5 again if the pod play is going to be made.
I mean, does he have anything left besides Pod or Caneless Hera? There's the Hera big key for 2C that we know he completely doesn't need. The Eastern won't take ninjembro that long because he's already cleared it. He just needs to get the boss. By the way, I have no idea who's in the lead right now. I can't even begin to guess.
No.
Both, I mean, 2C probably gets to the mountain pretty soon after this Meyer play, which is where he needs to go to get a hook shot and a bow. Ninjembro is running out of things that aren't pod.
We have seen purple chest from 2C, so we know the book is not there. Book could be here in Meyer. Could be.
Swamp Palace. 2C. Oh yeah, 2C might. Oh, that'd be hookless swamp. That's awful. Oh, and here you're gonna get a mail upgrade. Here's your mail upgrade. You can't skip this one. So Meyer with a mail upgrade, a useless big key, and whatever's on Vitreous. So I don't know how many items we have left in Turtle Rock. I think 2C did everything but the right side because he didn't have the fire rod, and the big chest and of course Trinex. Silvers.
Bo. What up?
Well, ninjembro will have the advantage of the easy Vitreous fight, so that's good for him. But 2C has to get that bow and Hera, but like his choices after this are going to be mountain or hookless swamp. I'm thinking mountain better than hookless swamp. I don't know. We'll see.
And welcome to all the people coming in from June there. Thanks for sending people our way.
Okay, now we're getting pod because we've done everything else over here. Also, 2C does need to remember to turn in his green pendant to get an ice rod. Just I don't imagine he forgets that, but it's been so, he'll be getting over there so late compared to when ninjembro got there. Do talk to Saha, please, 2C.
All right, so ninjembro is going to get in here and is going to be able to get some items. I hope that ninjembro doesn't just like peace out on finding like one of the items. You know what I mean?
Well, he's gonna see Kane first, which does get him all of Meyer. So that would be a problem.
Yeah, but you also need.
But he needs the mirror.
You need that mirror for sure. And then again, we don't know what's on Helmasaur. Could be
right. Well, we're not going to see Helma because we don't have a big key.
Right.
I mean, if you think about what the cane gets you all of Meyer, gets you a bunch of things in Turtle Rock. But you can't clear Turtle Rock because you don't have the big key. You don't really want to go back up there if you can't beat the dungeon. So, I'm usually an advocate of finding an item in a dungeon and leaving. But we'll see here. It helps when you know the answer. Also, there's a tempered sword here for him if he keeps going.
So you know why Blind never tells jokes about the boss of Meyer?
Why?
Because without eyes, he has no vitreous humor.
I think I've heard that one.
Oh, good, because I just came up with it. Like, it's very possible that someone could have come to the same joke.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's an obvious joke.
It's also possible that I haven't heard it before, and I just have a bad memory, which I do. So. Okay, this will be Kane. He's setting up to keep going. Yeah, he's gonna keep going.
I like that response. Someone asked, "Are we gonna get pot shuffle in the mode pool next season?" And the response was, "I don't think." The response there was, "I don't think next season is decided, but no."
Yeah. Shout outs to Jay Coper. I hope that seems like the correct answer there.
All right, TwoC going into the front of Turtle Rock here.
He's got two locations here.
Yep, over on the right side. And there's that mirror.
Ninjembro. So Ninjembro's gotten everything he needs to get out of here. We'll do the Dark Maze, I assume, at this point, because like it'd be silly not to, because having to come back there would be very annoying.
TwoC pulling off the hardest trick in the game there.
Yeah, remember, you don't have hookshot. Question, will Ninjembro do Helma? The answer is no, unless he grabbed a pod big key while I wasn't looking. Oh, hi, big key to Swamp. That is not the big key you're looking for. But hey, at least when you go to Swamp, you can not orphan that chest. And Ninjembro is just going to do Mire now. This totally makes sense. It's a full clearable dungeon.
Alright, so TwoC going to do a light Death Mountain here, which will get the hookshot eventually.
Yeah, he's doing it in a different order. Well, no, this is fine, because he's already... Did he do Mimics yet? Mimics had nothing. He's doing Spiral into Paradox. This is fine.
Yeah, Book is 100% required for Desert.
Yep. Could choose to do Spike Cave instead of Mimics. Save Mimics for when you're going into Turtle Rock and checking that big chest, maybe? I don't know. I have no idea our item count for Turtle Rock, because Turtle Rock, in Inverted, also in cross keys and in entrance modes, becomes a little bit like Ice in terms of counting items, because suddenly you don't need all the keys.
Mm-hmm.
So... yeah, have fun counting your items in Turtle Rock, because it's much harder.
Alright, so Ninjembro gets the small key off the bridge there. Just gonna, claim as much of the things here in Mire as you can.
Yeah, TwoC about to get his hookshot.
And there we go.
And we'll probably see both runners in Swamp before not too long. There's the flute. We'll see if... Now, TwoC might not activate that flute, because it really doesn't open anything for him. He's already done Mire. I guess it makes this slightly quicker to get to Desert when you do get to Desert, but... I don't know that he has any reason to go back to Kakariko at this point. Whereas Ninjembro, it actually opened up the Mire area for him because he didn't have the mirror yet.
Alright, Ninjembro getting the big key of Hera. And gonna go out into the lobby.
Yeah, this is gonna be really quick, because this is his second item. He'll just be able to go to the boss.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets a very fast Vitreous fight with those silver arrows. And you two will be forced to have blue mail.
You will take less damage and you will like it.
That's right. Bow for TwoC. It's also going to Harapot because there's no reason not to.
Yep. Yeah, going up the long way is not recommended. He is going to go for the big chest first, which is...
I mean, he got the big key, so...
Yeah.
So he loses, a second or two for that.
Look, if red mail is for cowards, sign me up as a coward. All right.
I was gonna say, isn't red mail just for bad players like me? I mean,
if red mail is for cowards, then I can't block warriors. All right.
I recently had to finish an SMZ3 seed on green mail. It was not pretty.
Gross. I was hoping somebody was going to get that terrible reference I made.
Okay, TwoC gets his crystal in Hera, while Ninjembro about to get a crystal out of Meyer. Now, TwoC hasn't done Eastern, so he might go to Eastern before going to Swamp.
Yeah, very possible.
In fact, yeah, now that I think about it, I think you do Eastern before Swamp, because there's always the old left side Swamp decision. Do you go or do you not go? You want to have as much information as possible before you get make that decision.
Yeah, and if TwoC can remember to go to Sahaz Rala as part of the process, they can get that ice rod as well.
Yep. And Hookshot Cave, TwoC having the advantage of having the mirror wall up here, is able to check it now. And in Ninjembro, where we flew into probably 4, I guess? Yeah, 4, because we want to go to Swamp. And TwoC probably goes back in that mirror portal and goes to Mimics here. Yep, there's the hammer out already. So now that we've everything's kind of fell out and Ninjembro has the stuff out of pot, I would put Ninjembro at a slight advantage, but we're still missing 2 items at this point. And TwoC is full clear Turtle Rock. Ninjembro hasn't touched Turtle Rock. And we've seen nothing in Turtle Rock, so that's probably where the bulk of the time differential is going here. So Ninjembro, if he doesn't get go mode in Swamp, Turtle Rock is going to suddenly look like a good play. And unfortunately, really isn't. In the meantime, we could still get a pod big key to put Pet in Logic, which, I'm sure chat would love that.
Oh, yeah. So the only real concern here for Ninjembro is if there's something in the big chest here,
yes,
in Swamp, then we're gonna have a real problem on our hands. And of course, we won't know that until.
Well, we might, if he does full clear, we may know whether there is an item in the big chest.
Right.
We won't know what that item is until TwoC does it. And TwoC did decide to activate the fluid, has decided that it's enough of a time save overall to go ahead and activate it. But I do expect him to do Eastern. That's what, okay. Looked for a second like he was fluting 7, which is not where you'd flute for Swamp anyway. But no, he's going to 5. Eastern makes all the sense in the world for him. It's 4 items in Eastern that you haven't checked at all. It's 4 items at Saha, which looks like he'll do afterwards. Please do remember to do it afterwards, TwoC. You need that ice rod. And it's like we are going to do left side right away.
Looks like it.
I mean, you're missing 2 items. Like, go -1, you usually don't do left side first. But this is go -2, so, I mean... I'm a chronic left side skipper myself, so I probably wouldn't be going here right now, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad play. Now, TwoC is going to full clear this dungeon, isn't going to get anything out of it. Yeah, chat asking, is flute required? Flute can be required if you don't get a mirror. But if the mirror is available and inverted, the mirror tends to be relatively early in inverted. So typically your flute is not hard required. But usually nice to have.
right, left side swamp has
map.
the map. And compass. Gross.
And this
The
is why
grossest left side swamp of
you
all
don't
time.
do left side swamp first. Just don't do it. It feels really bad when you go there and you get a map and a compass. It does guarantee us that there is an item in Swamp Big Chest, by the way.
Yeah, it sure does.
Like some runners will not do left side if they don't get a map or compass in the early checks. Just for that reason. Others will do it, so they'll do it depending on what they get. I personally like to have a big key. Now, of course, that doesn't apply here, but the big key in left side, I kind of always like to say that if the big key's in the back, all the time you save for doing left side first, because it is faster to do it first, you lose if you go back in for the big chest.
All right, time for another diver down, words.
Yeah.
Words are hard.
Half magic's nice. That's not what we're looking for.
Looking for a different green thing.
Yeah. Shield that we're being forced to take.
Rip. Yeah, we did see another one, but it was skipped.
Yeah, most runners are not going to go out of their way to pick up shields.
It was at the mushroom location in the Lost Woods.
Ah. Yeah, it's a lot of the way.
It's fairly close. We're still looking for a couple of items. All right. Silver shot to the Argus. And
Yeah. Is right. What do we have left that isn't Swamp Big Chest? Oh, we have Spike Cave.
Spike Cave, yeah.
Okay, so anything else that anyone could? Do we have our red crystals? We do. We have our red crystals. That's what Ninjembro's going to do right now. Skullwood's Big Chest does not have an item because we saw all the items out of Skullwood's. At this point, yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to what's in that Swamp Big Chest. We're down to very few item locations left between the two runners. And
I do kind of love the idea of somehow the both of the items you need being here at Pyramid Fairy. That would be fun.
That would be amusing. I mean, it could happen. And before, if the pod big key shows up, then we can talk Ped. Spike was checked.
Garbage and
there's a big key
for Turtle Rock.
Okay, so we're in business. If you're Ninjembro, this is going to be. I mean, you do the boss first. You mirror into Laser Bridge. You check Laser Bridge. You do the boss, and then you do the front.
You get spit out at the front door, and you just do it again.
So yeah, the book now has to be in Swamp Big Chest for 2C, and it still could be because we don't have much left in Turtle Rock. But on the other hand, if Ninjembro full clears Turtle Rock and gets that Swamp Big Key, he's got to follow it because I don't know if there's anything else left. I'll see if he checks the big chest first. No, he's just going to go. That's the one thing I could see doing is checking that big chest first. But he has, in his case, he hasn't done any of this. Yeah, and again, I keep saying this, if the pod big key needs to show up before Helma or Pet is a thing. Because that pod big key could just be hanging out there in Ganon's tower. But if we do find it, now things get interesting.
So I know this is a Mega Man X MSU 4 through 6, but I could have swore I was listening to Big Blue for a second there.
Yeah, I see what chat wants. Chat wants pod big on Trinex. I mean, it could happen.
All right, here is our moment of not quite. I was going to say our moment of truth, and then TwoC went
I
south.
think TwoC is going to go to the back first. It's been proven that this is faster through the compass chest after left side if you're doing the left side first play.
And oh!
And it is there.
Lord!
So Ninjembro needs to not find the pod big key when he goes into the rest of Turtle Rock.
That man had a family. Anyway.
Because you don't have go mode yet if you're Ninjembro, so you're gonna full clear Turtle Rock.
Yeah. Now as long as Ninjembro doesn't
if
find
all he
pod
gets, if all he gets is that Swamp Palace big key, he knows exactly where to go. He'll know the progression is there. TwoC still also needs to do Pyramid Fairy and might do Desert first with that book. So we'll see what decision he makes. I think either one is fine, you know. But Desert's gonna have items for him.
Yeah, you could very well find the pod big key in Desert for all you know.
Yeah?
Yikes.
In both cases, they need to not find the pod big key.
And Ninjembro not needing to do the hardest trick in the game.
Yeah, he's got the hook shot.
Having the hook shot.
Now, Ninjembro might also do Spike Cave first. Okay, so now doing the front, probably will mirror at the... Yeah, it's going to go back in. He's going to mirror at the big key, or at the big chest entrance, and do all the rest of the checks from that location.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah, and TwoC's heading straight for Desert. He even gets the tablet check on the way. Ice big key.
Ice.
Okay, that's fine. You're not following that big key. Because I'm pretty certain we got all the items out of there.
Yeah, pretty sure.
And that's everything out of pod between the two runners. Or sorry, everything out of... I just can't say Turtle Rock today. That's everything out of Turtle Rock between the two runners. So now you check this. It's nothing. You mirror.
It's the Palace of Thieves Rock, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. You know, Jay Coper in chat, Ice Palace big key does make Ped closer to Logic. And I didn't even think about the fact that we needed two big keys to actually put Ped into Logic. But the pod big key is either here in Desert or is hanging out in GT. But not on a torch. Of course, the nice thing about the key logic in Turtle Rock now is that you can go ahead and skip that key on the pokey. Did we do Spike Cave? Yeah, I'm not sure if we've done Spike Cave or not. Chat says we have. I'm pretty certain Ninjembro has not. So that's the one other choice that Ninjembro has. And TwoC is going to rush the boss here, which makes a lot of sense because the item's just there. You don't have to worry about anything else. And there's that bug net for Ninjembro. That's everything out of Turtle Rock. He's got his flute out.
So Ninjembro also has the option to check the big chest of Thieves Town if he wants.
He's going to do Spike Cave first.
Yeah. So there's a few one-off checks that Ninjembro hasn't done.
Yeah, they're two kind of awful ones.
Yep.
I mean, gosh, by now, do you even remember that you didn't do the Thieves Town big chest?
I mean, I would because I've been tormented by it many a time.
So yeah, I've gotten.
My
yeah, I know what you mean. I totally know what you mean. But on the other hand, that's been available much longer. I'm more apt. I personally am more apt to follow the thing I got more recently. They're both awful checks, though. So we'll see what Ninjembro chooses to do. Is it a 3?
Away.
Or is it a... It
3.
Is a 3. We are going to Thieves Town first.
Gross.
In the meantime, 2C is going into Desert. Still needs to get back to Pyramid Ferry. Both are going to have a very fast dungeon to do when they get to it. And Turtle Rock is very fast and inverted. Desert is very fast. It's actually a little slower and inverted than usual if you have all the things to do it, because you do have to go through the front, but you don't have to check anything. So this is still anybody's. Like, they're both going to get to their items really soon. Ninjembro has 2 locations left. 2C, does he have anything else besides Pyramid Ferry?
Not that I can think of, but I'm sure something else could happen. Yeah, that was definitely the last item in Desert.
Yep. Yeah, he has Ether Tablet. That's easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flew to 4, getting the hammer out. That does seem like
this is Pyramid Ferry. So I'm going to put him a little bit ahead here. Oh, purple chest for Ninjembro.
Oof. I mean, at least it's not, like, egregious.
Yeah, but it's going to put him behind here.
You know? Literally never thought about fluting to 6 with the purple chest.
Yeah, in inverted, this is the faster way if you have myths. But this will, puts him in the light world, and he can just run to swamp from here. So it makes sense routing-wise to do it in this order.
Absolutely.
2C is going to get to his go mode a little bit faster than Ninjembro is going to get to his. Because Ninjembro has to, pull the dam and do all that good stuff.
And there we go, 2C picking up the Turtle Rock big key. Yeah. And luckily for our runners, it does seem like, the pod big key is going to be sitting in GT somewhere. So,
yep.
So they're going to get debated by it as the, as they're looking for the GT big key, of course. Maybe.
Yeah, chat's saying TR inverted is faster than Desert. I don't think that's really the issue here. The issue here is Ninjembro still needs to get to his go mode item. I think if you include the mountain climb, it probably is fairly equal.
All right, there we go.
Ninjembro. And of course, he has to run over there. Well, he's flew over there, so.
Yeah.
And the thing that slows it down here, of course, is you have to, use the book to get in, run to the back, etc., etc., etc.
Ninjembro will not need to check anything in here. He's just going to go straight for the boss. And then I imagine just do a save and quit.
Yep, 2C, same thing, except he'll go into the light world from the top of, Turtle Rock. Go into the light world, save and quit, straight to the castle.
Yeah. So 2C's gonna get into GT a little bit faster.
He's gonna be there faster.
again, I think GT key routing could play a role.
I mean, it's definitely close enough for that to make a difference. Ninjembro will have a very quick landmole. He's going to have silver arrows to do it with. And we'll be able to immediately save and quit. 2C is going to have to go into the light world first to save and quit. Still should get in there first, though.
Alright, yep, so real quick wrap around. And save and quit shall occur a little before Ninjembro gets to Landmola's there. And into Ganon's Tower we go.
You see, you're going to start on the right side, on the left side, my other right.
Words, directions, eh.
Yeah, I know. I think Ninjembro typically does a hope route into the right side. So we'll see if he stays to that. It's going to save and quit. We'll stay on 2C in terms of the big key count.
Right,
Looks like we're going to see a Dark Magician route because he's already got the mirror out. So if it's on the right side, we're going to be really even, and if it's not, then 2C is going to have an advantage. Unless there's no small key here, in which case Ninjembro's going to be forced to the left. So if it's in compass room, then 2C is way ahead, and if it's anywhere not compass room, then Ninjembro's ahead. Not counting tile room, because tile room just favors the person that got in first, because you're going to do it last.
Fair. And since we found 3 small keys already, that does mean that tile room can be the key now.
Yeah. There are times you can tell if tile room has a small key. This is not one of them. Compass room has a compass. Also has a gold sword. Also has a red shield. Also has a container heart. It is not tile room. Sorry, it's not compass room. So that's going to put Ninjembro just a little bit ahead, but not a lot ahead, because 2C is not going to be has already done the Stalfos room. Unfortunately for 2C, that gold sword's not going to be a difference maker. Not likely, unless Ninjembro screws up the Ganon fight. Typically, the gold sword just makes the 1-in-1 more free. If you're good enough to do it with Tempered Sword, you don't need the gold sword to do it.
Yeah, it makes it where even I can do the 1-in-1 cycle.
Yeah, same. Same.
Butter sword. I mean, I'm not saying I haven't done it with Tempered Sword, but I have not practiced it enough to get it consistent.
Sure.
So
the best spot for 2C at this point would be if it is tile room. Because otherwise, he's just going to get there behind Ninjembro. Whereas Ninjembro, if it were tile room, is probably going to do compass room first.
There's the big key.
And there
of
it
this
is.
Dungeon. So nobody got. We didn't
I
see
wasn't
the pod
counting.
one.
Actually, it's not even the right number yet, because 2C has to pick it up, because we're going off of his number. Help me out, chat. What number was that? But this is close enough that, yeah, 10-second, yeah. This is close enough
14,
that, yeah, execution is going to matter. $14 seems good. Okay, so we had 4, 4, 10, 11, 12, 13? Maybe 13 or 14. So yeah, Ninjembro just a few rooms ahead here.
Yeah, they are one room apart right now in the gauntlet, and sometimes the
And we have 2 boss fights that can make a difference.
and sometimes
before
just
we
the
even actually
random
throw.
movements of enemies in these rooms can screw you up. So Jimbro with a textbook last few rooms there. And into the Landmo fight. And once again, very nice silver arrow strats. And we're into the best rooms. Which are the Wizrobe rooms. All right.
One room
and
behind.
upstairs.
I think 2C's made up some time here. It's just the one room behind.
Jimbro losing a little bit of time hitting that fireball with a fire rod shot.
Yeah, and we're not checking anything up here.
Oh no. Especially not if you're 2C. Like 2C just doesn't have anything you could possibly want. Oh. Oh no. And Jimbro's angered the Moldorm. Oh no.
Oh, that's gonna make a difference. Moldom falls usually not a difference maker, but 2C is probably gonna get through this a little faster. And that's what happened. You gotta be careful on Moldorm. If you poke him, it'll do fighter sword damage, and that's how we got the enrage phase there. So you poke him, and then you slash and spin like you normally would, or you actually would probably did the spin. Yeah, would have done the spin second. It's gonna put him in the enrage phase.
All right, 2C first to enter Aga 2, just a few seconds apart. See what kind of reflections we get. We get a double from 2C and a double from Ninjembro as well. Ooh, Ninjembro almost got that final cycle there, but again, they're going to have about the same amount of time between them coming out as they did coming in.
Yeah, 2C going to take a small lead into the Ganon fight here.
I don't know if I've seen a race this close recently,
Well, I mean, for so much of this race, we didn't even know who was ahead because the routes were so incredibly different. And then Ninjembro took a brief lead, except that he needed to go back for the Swamp Big Chest. And then 2C took a lead because he got his go mode just a little bit faster because he was able to do the Swamp Big Chest for the book, but didn't go right into Pyramid Fairy to get his Charter Rock Big Key.
Ninjembro got a little bit unlucky there with the Ganon stop.
Yeah.
Couldn't get the 1-in-1 cycle.
Yeah, there you go. There's that gold sword. But yeah, and then Ninjembro taking the lead back with a different big key route. And then Moldorm doing what Moldorm does, giving 2C the lead back there. Or one Ganon jump difference here. And with silvers, I mean, that's hard to make up with both players having silvers. And you couldn't miss silvers in this seed since they were on Armos Knights. And there's the Ganon kill for 2C.
And ninjembro also finishing. There we go. TwoC finishes with an official time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 55 seconds. And ninjembro will finish with an official time of 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 9 seconds.
Yeah,
so
14 seconds apart.
Wow, what a race. All right.
Well, should get our runners in shortly, I'm sure. And we have ninjembro joining us. I assume 2C will follow him. GG's.
Yes.
Wow. That was a heck of a race.
That was a crazy race. You guys did such different things. And finally converged at the end in GT.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was probably the case this seed. There were so many different ways you could play this one that kind of worked out, and like nothing about the last few items was very good.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it was just it was an interesting one.
For a long time we had no idea who was in the lead, and then when it started, when things started to come together, you just kept changing leads.
All right, 2C has also joined us. GG, congratulations.
Hey, GG.
Hey, GG.
That was very close.
Yes, it was. Like we were just saying, as you were coming in, yeah. For a long time we couldn't tell who had the lead because your routes were so incredibly different. Now, 2C, that probably doesn't surprise you as much, given how long it took, much longer it took you to get Moon Pearl. Then you do Dark Aga, which you actually didn't know. It was the other way around. You did Dark Aga, then got your Moon Pearl, which I thought was crazy myself, you know. Whereas ninjembro, you kind of follow the logic early on, but it got 2C all the goodies in pod a lot earlier. But ninjembro, you went to the mountain sooner and got your hookshot and bow a lot sooner. And then you kind of, but unfortunately for you, it meant you didn't get, since you never touched Turtle Rock until the end, you didn't get your Swamp Big Key before going into Swamp.
Yeah, that was like one thing this seed, like that was actually like the one thing that didn't feel good. And it was just like, it still didn't feel awful because I'm sitting here like throughout a lot of the seed, and you know, somebody will have to confirm my thought here, but I had like the way the seed unfolded, like I envisioned a world where like I had those boots significantly earlier than 2C.
You did.
And I was like, some of these terrible item placements, like you can get to those boots like when you're looking for your last item.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Because they don't lock anything required, and they're in a pendant dungeon that nobody wants to dip.
Yep.
And it's like my choices at that point in the seed were, I think, just Ice Palace or like the pod stuff.
And pod, yeah, it was ice and pod.
And I'm like, well, I just don't want to go to pod without either a bow or the big key. I was like, one or the other, and I'll be happy.
So you were hard waiting for that bow, yeah, which makes sense. I mean, there's a lot more you can do. You don't have to do flips and shenanigans.
And then I think after that, I did Catfish.
You did Catfish first, because you had Quake before you had the pod stuff. Because we were worried when you were going to get to Catfish if you got all your pod stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, Catfish I think was after Ice Palace, because I remember I was on my way to pod, and then I got the mitts, and I was like, okay, there's no reason to go to pod now. Which did give me that bow, but Yeah, so I did feel like I had those boots significantly early, so the rest of the way the seed unfolded, like I didn't feel bad because I was just like, I'm just gaining a ton of time, just from the boots. And I know, like, everybody will say like boots don't, like everybody overestimates how much time boots save, but it's still a save time. It's still a time save, and like where they were and how early I got them, I was just like, this could just be like time save from now until the end of the seed, depending on where other items are.
Right.
And as I got closer and closer to last locating, I'm just like, okay, that those boots are like a bigger and bigger advantage here. But yeah, it just turns out that like one or two bad choices and like three very unlucky things cost me the seed. You know, I had that
the
death.
Moldorm poke, and then that too.
I had the death at the Lionels. Had the Moldorm poke wasn't even an issue. Like I knew like I could have avoided the fast cycle, but I wasn't even really worried about the fast cycle. Like, but yeah, that fall, and then Ganon doing the quick warp is never fun. So those three things, fix any one of those three, and you probably like, especially the Lionel death, and you just win. So I can't be too mad about the results. It wasn't
like forgot about the Lionel death. It was so long ago. 2C. Now your route was completely different. I assume you were just betting on that there was a flippers or a hammer that was in either back of Thieves or in Skull Woods that then gets you over to Pod, and you go over to Pod really early and get good items.
Yeah, when I got like the Thieves Town big key from Brewery after dipping Thieves Town, there was no way I was gonna go back there. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing that. Especially since I don't have the hammer. I know, like, the boss is in logic because of the small key and stuff like that, and the big key. But I don't know, I took the gamble there. And then when I found like all those goods in Pod, I'm like, I mean, I have to commit to doing weird stuff, and I did a little bit of extra weird stuff with that guy and everything. But
yeah, I really thought going for Dark Aga, like I refuse to do that unless it's like Fire Rod on Lumberjack. Like I'll do a Fire Rod Aga, but completely Dark Aga is just pretty nuts. You did a nice job with it though. And then you get the lamp afterwards. I was a little surprised. I mean, you then went back into Thieves Town, so it's probably a good thing you had that mirror, because once you had, I guess it still didn't put the mirror in logic, so you avoided the Smith chain, which was really good for you, as it turns out, because that's slow as a bunny. He did it later.
Yeah. It was like 50-50. Like, it was either going to be Flippers or the Moon Pro in Thieves Town.
Right.
So I figured that I need either of them.
For sure.
And I had the hammer from Skull Woods.
Right.
Which was obviously very out of logic, but...
yeah. I mean, you were really out of logic for quite a while on this seed. But yeah, the pod, just getting all that stuff in Pod early just really paid out for you.
And funny enough, like, that hammer could have been very good if the Thieves Town Big Chest had a very good item, which unfortunately didn't.
Yeah, well, it did help you out at the end, because if Ninjembro had gone to Swamp Palace before going back to Thieves Town, that also would have switched the outcome. There were a lot of little things that could have changed things there, because I believe that was a hard last located book on Ninjembro's part. Yeah. Which maybe I shouldn't call your races anymore, because you seem to hard last locate things on. That's 2 races in a row I've called for you where that's happened.
Yeah, that's just these tournament seeds.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, sure does happen. But yeah, even then, and then you guys go into GT, and 2C gets in there first. But because Ninjembro, your typical routing, I believe, is, grab that small key in Hope Room and go right. But there was no small key, so you're forced back to the left. So that was another lead change right there. And then, the Moldorm 2 fall happened, and then that was the last lead change that we had. So.
Yep. And you almost made up the difference on the Aga 2 fight.
Yes.
Just almost got that second hit in on the third cycle. But, yeah, it's just real close all around. It was literally edge of the seat entertainment right there at the end. We're just like, ah!
I want to also shout out 9 blue ball Aga 1, and not just 9 blue ball, like the first 9 possible blue balls.
Yep.
Yeah, we were thinking it was going to be the whole 15 at that point. We're just like,
well, and what was at the time bad for you, it ended up not mattering is where TwoC had the mitts by then, and we're like, well, if TwoC goes and gets his moon pearl, he's never doing that fight, because it was completely sequence breakable. Right. Yeah, because the mitts just sitting there on the pyramid. You do a kern jump over, grab your mitts, and that's your light world access.
Yeah, honestly, never even pieced that together in my mind. That'd be a. Yeah, I tend not to sequence break the pod area in this mode specifically because it just feels like
it usually doesn't pay out. Just this
obviously, like this seed is a counter example, and a lot of people are super swayed by recency bias and cherry picking things that happen, but it's more often than not, it's just not going to pay off at all. You might find your mitts or your hammer over there versus the entirety of the light world that's available.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if I just go do Aga, so it's like I'm just going to go do Aga 100% of the time. Like I do sequence break a lot in this game, but I sequence break where I think it makes sense, and that's just one that specific sequence break in this specific mode. I see 0 point in ever doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was a long time before you got back to pot, but when you did, I mean, I don't think you got there in time to keep it nice and competitive. Like I said, we just didn't know. We didn't know who was ahead because of the different routes. It just well, I mean, hopefully we get some more close ones coming up. Do you guys don't have your game 2 scheduled, if I'm not mistaken, yet?
No, not yet. I think we talked about doing it some weeknight, and then if we need a game 3, probably do that over the weekend. But we haven't really hashed out what days and times those will be yet. But we'll probably hit the schedule here soon, I would imagine.
Yeah, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. I'll have to check. We'll probably talk tomorrow. Yeah.
Makes sense.
One of those 2 days. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cool.
Now,
well, good luck.
Now, of course, I do like to ask the question. Of course, the next race won't be Inversion. I know ninjembro, you like Inversion. What would you like to see? I'm guessing. Let's see. TwoC, looks like you were the one that submitted, so you're the one that said please no McBoss. So I'm guessing you don't want to see that.
That's correct.
Anything you would have liked to see?
Keys. I like that.
Okay.
I only got it once so far, and I'm very sad.
ninjembro, what of the remaining modes would you like to see?
Either Fad Keys or McBoss. But looking at our deck, there's an 11% chance that we'll get standard boots, which is the worst mode in the tournament, and I hate it. So I guarantee it will be standard boots.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's tradition so far for me to do standard boots, one other mode, and then standard boots again. Because that happened with Orange. Game 1 and Game 3 were standard boots.
Mm-hmm.
So I think now Game 2 is going to be standard boots, I guarantee.
Every other game, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Okay. Anything else either one of you wants to add before we close this out?
Just GG's again. TwoC, looking forward to Game 2, and thanks Tracy and Dr. Fantastic for doing comms and for the tracker for tracking.
We got Jaxie on the tracking.
Jaxie tracking, and yeah, GG's, and see you on, I guess, Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, GG, and thank you, Restream. Always appreciated.
All right. And yeah, we have not shouted out Jaxie on the tracking, and we should. Always our MVPs are trackers, so thank you very much to Jaxie for tracking. We don't have anything else in the schedule. Looks like the other race is over. That was on ALTTP Randomizer, but do feel free to head over there and watch the VOD. Game 2 of that series, Scholzer versus Bredkun, is tomorrow at 3:10, and then we also have on the schedule tomorrow at 7:10, Lin versus Artie Walshby. I don't know, those channels have not been submitted yet, so keep an eye out on the schedule for those matches. But yeah, that's going to be it for us today. Dr. Bob, always a pleasure. Glad we got to do this.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Again, thank you for having me, and I'll see you all at a later occasion, everybody.
Yep. Go ahead and follow those runners, and yeah, we'll see you at the next one.